everyone, and welcome to Channel 18 TV News. I'm Don Julian. In the news, the Sulphur Springs City Council will be taking up park planning and grant applications, as well as ordinances regulating curbside parking and prohibitions for wheeled conveyances in business areas at a regular City Council meeting Tuesday night. The council will be conducting a public hearing on a plan to submit a grant application to the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department for funding to help fund improvements at Pacific Park. The city has called a special election in November, which, if approved, would allow the city to receive $200,000 in EDC funding for improvements at Pacific Park and for a new senior citizen center. These funds would be used along with proceeds from a property sale to create a new Grays building, a new pavilion, and improving facilities at Pacific Park. The council is also expected to receive and consider a new Parks and Open Spaces master plan for city recreation parks and facilities. And on second and final reading, the council is also expected to consider a couple of ordinances. One, prohibiting curbside parking within 30 feet of intersections at areas where signs are posted. Intersections considered especially troublesome are expected to get posted signs first. And a second ordinance prohibits skateboards, scooters, roller blades, and other conveyances on sidewalks in business and commercial areas, such as downtown. The city of Cumbie has installed a red signal light atop a stop sign in an attempt to better warn the public to prepare to stop right before a worrisome railroad crossing just down from the Cumbie football stadium and school. That railroad crossing has no warning crossing arms. In sports, the Wildcats and Lady Cats cross-country teams ran in the Titus County Fair Invitational in Mount Pleasant on Saturday. We get results from Sulphur Springs cross-country coach Ross Hicks.
Started off well with the girls placing second place, just behind Mount Pleasant, who we beat last week, and Mount Pleasant ran really well on their home course, so we'll know what to expect out of them. And we know that that the ladies are capable of beating them, and so it was good to see. A lot of our district competitors were there, everyone in our district except for Lindale, so it gave us a really good idea of where we stack up for next Wednesday. But we were again led by senior Sydney Washburn, who was battling a little bit of congestion that really affected her race a little bit on Saturday, but she still managed to lead our team and run really well. And again, just like every week, she's closely followed by freshman Lainey Hurst, who's just been very consistent and been a huge asset to our team so far this season. Third was Maddie Bridges, another freshman who just keeps plugging away, getting a little bit faster each week. So we're really excited about what she's done. And then another freshman, Michaela Jimerson, who's again she's very athletic and just really gets after it and runs hard. Then after her, we had a junior Mari Flecker, who is coming back from a little bit of having a little bit of aches and pains, and coming back from that strong. And she always finishes the year strong. She always really steps up when it matters. And then finally, fifth for us this week, we had a new fifth place person. It was Jessica Yanez. She ran really well for us this week. She's a sophomore, and she's really stepping up and just kind of figuring out, hey, this is kind of fun. It may take some hard work, but it's worth it in the end. So the girls performed well. They know they've got a little bit of work to do to beat Mount Pleasant there on their home course at district, but I think they're going to work between now and then, and they'll be ready to step up to the challenge. The boys, they finished fourth overall. They were beat by Mount Pleasant and Royce City in our district, and then Longview just edged us out as well. Royce City beat us by about 9 points. So again, when it comes to district, it's really anybody's game for that second spot there. We were led by Christian Palomino, who really kind of got out of a funk, really, and really ran well. He was excited, and he knows that he's even gonna be ready to run a little bit faster as time goes on. And then he was closely followed by sophomore Jose Mejia, who's been really stepping up. But I really believe he has a lot more as well, and they're getting ready to just really unleash and untap some of the potential that they have. Third was Evan Patrick. He's also a sophomore who's really stepped up. Really been an asset for us so far this season as a sophomore. We've had a lot of those. Then fourth yesterday was Camden Fuller, and who's been running well for us. He started out really fast. He got a little fired up, a little amped up, and fell back a little bit. But I'd rather him be amped up, be ready to go. And he learned from that. He said, "Yeah, I got out a little fast, but next time I'll slow it down, and I'll beat a few more people next time we do this." And that's exactly why we rerun the race. And so it was a solid group. He was followed by Ricardo Torres, who was right there with him. They were neck and neck as they finished in those 4 and 5 spots. So I was really proud of the effort that they gave. And it's just be a difference in beating a couple people. If everybody, our top 5, can go beat 1-2 more people, we'll be right there with Royce City at district. And so I think we'll be ready to rise to that occasion on that day.
All right. You have one more before district?
Yes, we are running one more meet this year in Lindale. It's great. It's a really good course. It's on an old golf course there in Lindale, and it has it's a little challenging. So we'll run that on Thursday of this week. It's kind of our final little tune-up to before district, which is the following Wednesday. But we're excited about running in Lindale. There's always some quality competition there as well, but we're really just using that as a tune-up to really be prepared and just fine-tuning for district.
With district coming up so quickly, will you kind of change your practice routine and the way you're training and stuff with your team?
Absolutely, yes. We have, during the summer, we really build a base, and we peaked about a couple weeks ago with our mileage. Now everything is faster, and our mileage has come down in the last few weeks. We've been on the track once to twice a week, really honing in on on the speed aspect of it, and to be ready to be able to not only finish strong, but to just be ready to run hard and understand where we are in the race, to understand how much we have left, and understand our bodies, to know when to push, and how much we can really give, and how strong our body really is. So we are doing a lot more speed here at the end of the year. We've built all the endurance we're going to build since we've been running back in June, and now it's just about fine tuning and really trying to get that peak at the right time for the district and the regional races.
And that's Channel 18 TV News. I'm Don Julian. Thank you for watching, and so long, everybody.
I want to take this time to also introduce our staff members. We have Jesse Herrera. He's the area engineer for Hopkins County. He's back there. Tommy Henderson. He's the director of operations. Of course, we have our maintenance division here, and our James Stevenson, he's the deputy director of maintenance division. He's here. He has a few words to say, and he'll introduce his staff here in a short time. Also, our contractor, Hayden's here. Matt Eicher, Matt's here. Of course, without them, this would not be possible. Great job, Hayden Incorporated. At this point, I'm going to ask Representative Clinton to say a few words.
Thank you. I thought I was going to start with a song there. Wait, it turned out I'd have to get the judge here to help me do that. What an incredible event for us to have here today. And Commissioners, I know that y'all were very involved in working and making sure you work with TxDOT to make this happen, and I appreciate it. I want you to know it's great. For a person that spends their life on the highway, rest stops are good things. They really are, and I appreciate us that being able to have one right here in our own community, because it gives us a little bit more visibility, and the people that are traveling up and down, they find out what we're all about. But I am honored to be here, and thank you so much for all your hard work. And Judge Newsom, you're all our hero. Come on over. And, I appreciate all the work that you do, and you make this a great county for us, and I do appreciate it. And I think he wants you to say a few words.
All right, and I am honored to be here today with Dan Flynn standing beside me. He's a great representative for our state and for our area. A couple of my commissioners are here today. Danny Evans is Commissioner Precinct 4, which this is in, so come on up here, Danny. And Wade Bartley, I believe, is here. Come on up, Wade. And actually, this thing started out several years ago, actually well before I was judge. Danny was still has been on the court for a long time, and he's from the beginning. So I want him to say just a couple of words about the background of this really quick, and yet tell us a little bit of how this thing came about, because it was more than 10 years ago that you were working on this, as I recall.
Actually, I believe it was before even I got on the court, this concept started. And this spot was picked, and the land was acquired probably over 10 years ago. And it's taken a while to get the funding in place. TxDOT, you know, they've got lots of roads and lots of things to do, and so the funding was a little slow about getting here, but finally it came together. And I guess about, how long ago did we start this? Did they start this? 2016. 2016. So it's been an ongoing process since then, and the court has worked together with TxDOT the local TxDOT folks, and try to get this thing going and keep it going. And we're awful proud that they chose Hopkins County. We appreciate it, the investment that has been made here, and I think it's going to be a great addition to Interstate 30 as far as safety, and it also showcases our county.
You know, I've been to a lot of rest stops around the state as I've traveled, and there's not one as attractive as this is a number one, and we want to thank TxDOT so much. Noel, thank you for the great job y'all done. All right, I'll turn it back over to you, Noel. And I wanted to, our sheriff is here. Would you like me to introduce? Come on up here, Sheriff, and our fire chief. Come on up here, Andy. This is Lewis Tatum, and he and his staff will be keeping a close eye on this place. Our fire chief here has also, back over here. All right, I want to introduce Andy Ensley, our fire chief, our Sheriff Lewis Tatum, who have done a great job. There's still more to do. They'll be keeping an eye on this place as well. And we've got our new commissioners here. Come on up, Greg and Joe. They'll be taking office in January, so you'll have great responsibility along with them as well. So I'm not sure I covered everybody I needed to, but if I left you out, I apologize for that. But Noel, thank you so much for all TxDOT's doing, not just here, but in Hopkins County. We appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. I just wanted to say a few words about the West area. As you all know, since 2013, there has been about 750 fatigue-related incidents on the I-30, and there has been 3 fatalities right here in the last 5 years that was related to fatigue. And this facility actually helps in that, provides a place to rest. As I was driving up here, I saw many 18-wheelers parked on the side of the road. Obviously, they'll be using this facility as well. If you look at the I-30 average daily traffic, there's about 31,000 cars a day on this highway. Out of that, a third are 18-wheelers. So if we can take some of those 18-wheelers off the road when they are fatigued, it's going to greatly improve safety. So it's another huge factor in terms of safety. At this point, I'm going to ask James Stevenson to come in and introduce his staff and say a few words about the rest of it.
Thank you, Noel. Thank you all for having me. I came up from Austin today. This is a big opening. And safety, of course, is one of TxDOT's top priorities. And that's what these rest areas are for. This rest area was in particular built with the Hopkins County theme. It takes in the meandering streams, the trees. You can see that on the outside landscaping that we've done. It continues inside in the lobby area where they have exhibits. And again, that theme is continued with the natural scenery from this area. As Noel pointed out, this is a very highly traveled area with a lot of fatigue-related incidents. So these safety rest areas, if you all remember when I was growing up as a kid in the 70s, you drive down the road and the rest area was kind of a place to jump out, take care of business, and jump back in the car and go. These rest areas are now set up to encourage you to walk around, to get your legs actually stretch your legs and get that road fatigue shaken off so you can get back on the road, drive safely and not have an accident that endangers you, others, and your families. We have a playground, we've got a lobby area. The facility will be maintained and monitored 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We have a space for law enforcement, an office for law enforcement to use so they can come in here. They can also get some rest from getting off the road, do any paperwork they need to do, and also keep an eye on the facility to keep it safe and the people who come here safe. I'm going to sorry I have to look at some of my notes, but this site was commissioned in 2016. The contract was awarded and it was about $23,700,000 to build these two sites. Of course, there's the one across the road as well. But to me, that's a fantastic investment because what kind of price can you put on a life? I can't think of one. So I think it was money well spent for the traveling public of Texas to travel safely through this area and make sure that nobody gets hurt. I have some of my hardworking staff, Stephen, Harrison, I think I got that right. These gentlemen helped design this facility. They were a part of it to make it, again, a safe place for the traveling public to stop, rest, enjoy some time with their family, and get off the road and get rid of that fatigue that we all feel. Sometimes we all get dazed, and this is a place to shake that off and get your mind straight. In addition, I have Richard and Wendy. They are part of my inspection staff. And they will be coming through here regularly to make sure this site is maintained properly and that the investment that all of us as taxpayers of the state have put into this site is kept up and maintained in an adequate level. Again, I can just say that this is honestly my first time being here, and this site is just fantastic. And it's a beautiful county, and it's a beautiful area of the state. So I'm going to turn it back over to Noel. Thank you for letting me talk.
Thanks, Bruce. Matt from Hayden, do y'all want to say anything? Once again, I wanted to thank the elected officials. Obviously, without you, this would not be possible. So, again, I really appreciate your help. At this point, we'll cut the ribbon, and Representative and Judge, if y'all will do that.
Well, I just want to be sure everybody knows how much work you put in making this happen. Commissioners will all thank you for all that, because this is going to be a great addition to what we're doing here. It really is, and we appreciate your hard work. I know you, like you say, you came in a little in the middle of it, I guess, but you made it happen, and we appreciate it. We really do.
Okay, are you ready? I'm going to count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Good. Okay, are you ready to cut it? Whenever you're ready, let's do it.
Count it down again.
3.